Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial video on my YouTube channel. Well, this is Vic's tutorial, so I won't be going straight up into the whole introduction. So we are going to go right into today's tutorial, and in today's tutorial video, I'll be teaching you how to create a simple logo design for a chat app. Okay, so now I will try to make sure this video is straightforward. I teach you what I want to teach you, show you the process, and we are able to grab what we need to grab right here in today's tutorial video. So we are going to jump right into this session. So like we have the brief before us. They say the company name is Swipe Charts, and the company's description is: we are a company that is focused on bringing young tech enthusiasts together and forming a community where they can share ideas within themselves online. Our target audience are the Gen Z and who are tech savvy and looking for a place to meet with other fellow tech savvy to chat, mingle, and share creative ideas. We want to convey a sense of creativity while at the same time being inexpensive. Now going down, they say the job description, that is how this is now where the client is kind of telling you how they want their logo to look like. Yes, you might say if you are the professional, you have to, somewhere along the line, maybe you have to decide for your client how the logo should take, being the professional. But in some cases, you still have to go through their brief, because clients also they have their wants, they have their need. They have something that they have in mind on how the creative parts they want to go with their logo. So it's still good for you to give them a listening ear. So they said, I went to the job description, they said you must create a logo using the information given in this brief. They will prefer a logo mark. That means they will prefer maybe a geometric shape or something, just a logo mark that uses a creative color. Okay, that means it's going to be a combination pattern. Okay, then definitely you can't have a logo mark without a logo type, right? You can't have a logo mark without a logo type. So it's going to definitely be a combination logo kind of. It's going to be a combination type of logo. Just that the main focus now, it should be in the logo mark. That means as a professional, you have to come up with a kind of typography that will go well with that particular logo. So that uses a creative color. The logo will be used on places like website, mobile app, and app icon, mesh t-shirts, and small brand assets such as badges. And thereabout. Like that means maybe badges, like they are hosting a sort of conference and you went for the conference. You would need to wear maybe the badge to showcase that you're among that particular community. Now take into account the company's values and preferences and make sure it will work for the planned use cases. Now we have been able to get acquainted with the brief. Let's go straight into breaking it down, and without further ado, let's jump right in. Okay, so now that we've been able to break down the brief and we've been able to understand now we've been able to understand that we've gone through the brief, let's break it down to the ways that we would need it to go. So now I'm going to copy and paste the brief. So I'm going to just delete some parts and point ourselves to the right direction we need to take. So the first thing is, the name of the brand is Swipe Chart, which is very, very important. So they're focused on bringing young tech. So we are going to delete that part and make sure we highlight young tech enthusiasts. Okay, that's another point to note. And the other one is forming a community. They want a community for themselves. So that is a part to take. That's the part to take, where they can share ideas. So sharing of ideas is very important. So sharing of ideas. So we are going to just break it down this way. You see how I'm breaking down the brief into different sections to create our directive parts. This is another easy way that you can break down your brief. And another thing is online, meaning it's going to be internet based. So if you've not watched any of my video, my logo design process, just wait till the end of the video to click on any of the video that will be showing on your screen. I've created some other videos on creative on how to go about a logo design process. So now they say their target audience is Gen Z. Okay, so they want the Gen Z. The Gen Z is the target audience. And if you should go online properly and research, so let's say we want to go on research and say, just a simple Google search. All these things are not things you need to ask your mentors or your coaches. These are things you could just easily ask Google. Just ask Gen Z ages, and you just see what is going to pop up. Now you see they say Gen Z is between 9 to 24 years old. Gen Zs are between 9 to 24 years. That means you need to create an app that is going to fit into this category of individuals. These are the age group or their target audience in terms of age. So now we are going to tech savvy. Okay, very important. Tech savvy. We're going to place to meet. Okay, you're looking for a place to meet, which is also almost the same thing as community, but let's just still point it out. Meet with other fellow creative to chat. Okay, meet. Okay, so we are going to just put on the chat, and we are just going to mingle. Okay, so we are going to put them together, share creative ideas. We want to convey a sense of creativity. Now you see how I'm breaking everything down, while at the same time being inexpensive. I mean, they also want to make their products a bit affordable, inexpensive. Okay, now we need to break that section down. Now let's go further and break it down again. They say they want a logo mark, very important, and this is another direction to take. Logo mark that uses a creative color. Okay, a creative color. So creative color. The logo will be used in places like website, and this is now when we start talking about brand assets. So you can say brand assets. Then you can just put it websites, mobile app icon, website, mobile app icon, and okay, and then mesh t-shirts. So just to break it down, and we are going. Just follow the process, okay? Just follow the process. Like I said, I will try to make this tutorial video as brief as possible. So, and the small brand assets such as badges, take into account, and blah blah blah. All these things are not really that important. Okay? So now we've been able to get this straight up. Now we have our creative part to take. Swipe chat, young tech enthusiasts, community, sharing ideas, online, Gen Z, tech savvy, meet, chat, creativity, inexpensive, logo mark, creative color, website, app icon, and the rest of them. So now that we've been able to get all of these things down, now we need to know that Swipe Chat is the name of the brand. So that means we could either go with something, let's say we could either go with something like an S. Yes, we could go with something like an S. Okay, no problem. And tech enthusiasts, that means they like technology. So let's just put something like, let's just put a code sign. That is when you're coding. So community, we have circle to depict community. Then we have something like this, something like a hand lifting themselves. So we have something like this. Okay, we have something like this. So anyhow, we are getting there. So sharing of ideas, that is we have something like this, like our share button that we have in our phones. Then we have the online space, which has to do with the internet. I'm just drawing a Wi-Fi symbol right now, depicting internet. Then we have Gen Z, which are young people. Let me just draw something like this. Okay, let me just draw something like this. Yeah, it's a caricature, but you are getting the idea. Okay, this is me just drafting out my creative process on how to go about it. Same thing with, so you can still talk about tech enthusiasts as tech savvy, so you can just come here and repeat the same thing for tech savvy. Sorry, so you can just come here, repeat the same process. Okay, let me distance this. Now we talk about meeting, then we can just bring this together. You can see we are still almost surrounding ourselves with the same thing. So we make a duplicate, and then we make another duplicate, and then maybe we could just put a plus sign of people meeting. You say 1 + 1 equals to what? Equals to 2. So meeting, then we have the charts, mingle. Then we remember how our charts app icon used to our charts. When you're chatting with somebody, you know how the bubbles are. The chat bubbles are. Let's say something like this. Let's say something like this. Something like this, right? This is the sender, and let's say this is the receiver. So let's say something like this, or let's say something like this. Yes, exactly. This is the sender, this is the receiver. When you send somebody a message and it comes in and you send out, that's how it looks like. Then we have creativity, and creativity is usually used. We normally depict creativity as a bulb light. So we have something like this. So we have something like this as creativity. Then we have inexpensive. That means it is not expensive. It is not expensive. So we have to put money into consideration. It is not expensive. Then we also have a logo mark. Okay. Now we don't really need to direct ourselves to other parts. We need to know that a logo mark is a logo that is mostly either done using shapes or icons and stuff like that. That's what a logo mark simply signifies. Now, what about the creative color? Now they say we're going to go with the creative color anyway. So now this part is very also very important. They say it's going to be used in places like website, app icon, and thereabouts. Now we have our directions. So let's start drafting out our sketches. So now, having noted these things we've done, we are going to bring this out. Okay, we're going to also bring this one out, just making a duplicate, and let's say this community circle of a thing, you're going to bring it out. From here we can start drafting out our sketch. You're going to bring out this one because this one is also very important. And creativity, well, I think on that thing, there was something I said in my last logo design process when I made mention of the fact that most times when you're designing a logo, you need to understand that sometimes you don't need to put every attribute of the brand into that particular logo mark or logo type or whatever. You could also express everything about the brand in other areas, like the kind of font you're going to use or the kind of color you're going to use. So it doesn't mean that the creativity must come inside the logo mark. You could use creativity in terms of the color choice. You could use technology in terms of the color choice. You could use, any other form in terms of the color or the kind of typography font you're going to use together. For example, now if you want to choose a font for a tech brand, you are going to use a sans serif font. Definitely, you're going to use a sans serif font or a more modern font. For sure, you can't start using a maybe let's say a script font for a tech brand. No, it doesn't work well. Get my point? So we get the point. So I think having gotten this part, I'm just going to copy this and then I'm going to create a new page and I'm going to paste this and possibly enlarge it a little bit. Now we've been able to see this. Let me increase the font weight a little. Now we've been able to see this and we see where our direction is to go now. So what do we do? How do we come about the concept? So I was thinking if we could go with something of this nature. Since it's a chat box, then make it to signify this sort of S. Now this is what I'm trying to draft out. Let me bring down this S and reduce it. Let me bring down this F, reduce, and then point it in this direction. Now this is what I'm trying to come up with. So now I'm thinking if we can just go towards this direction, trying to do something like this. So now this is me adding the S symbol, which is for swipe chat, into chat bubble, the bubbles for chatting, swipe chat. So now if I'm to further enhance this creativity or this particular concept, that means I will need something like a box and then need another box. Need another box. Okay, then I can start working on it. Now there are two ways I'm going to teach you guys how to create this particular concept. There are two ways I'm going to teach you guys how to create this concept so that we can enhance it further. So now I'm just going to copy this two box and I'm going to create a new page. Okay, I'm going to create a new page and I'm going to enhance this. So now one way to do this is we need to create a chat box, right? And we all know how a chat box look like. Let's just simply go over here and chat box. Now you can see how it looks like. Okay, so I'm trying to draft out this concept, so I've copied it and I'm going to paste it right here. So I'm trying to draft out this concept, but in this case what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap it to something like this. Okay, I'm going to swap it to something like this, but I want a situation whereby nope. Okay, I want to make it something like this. Okay, but in this case what I'm going to do is this particular shootout pointy area is going to be at the top side, while this one is going to remain this way. So since I'm trying to draft out something of this nature, that means at the end of the day I'm going to come to my shape tool and I'm just going to come over here and I'm going to select this point, and then select this point, and I'm just going to round the edges. Okay, now I'm going to do the same for this side, which means I'm going to select this point, I'm going to select here and here, and I'm going to round the edges, and there we go. Now to make it more equivalent, I'm just going to make it a little bit, and I'm going to close this part up. Now this is me just creating a random concept. Okay, this is just me creating a random concept, and there we have it. We have the S and the chart box. We have our S and the chart box. So let me go over here and I copy our S and I come over here and I have our chart box signifying our S also, and there we go. Okay, S and chart box. So another way I can do this is, now we've gotten this, let me group and put the center, is to create a new page. Now this is the more technical aspect. That is now if you want to be more packaging to show your professionalism. So, but on that way is, I was thinking, now that I think I need to rotate this down, I think this will be better. This is more balanced. This is more balanced looking in the eyes, right? Yeah, this looks more balanced. It's more of this part. So yeah, so I think or we can just swap, check, and no, this doesn't work well. I think this goes well. This goes well. This is better. So we are going to go with this method. So now to make it more technical, simple, we just create a new page, and then we're going to go to our freehand and go to our 2-point line segment, and we're just going to create a straight line. Okay, we're going to create another straight line here, and then we are going to take this and we are going to put it to this point somewhere around here, and we are going to create another line down, something like this. Okay, now to make sure, let me select these two group, and put to the middle. Now that we have this, okay, now to make sure that I'm able to get out those curved edges. Okay, now before we go further, let's elongate this, and then take this two, bring it down, and then create a little gap. Okay, maybe a little centimeter or little gap here, and there we go. Now we've gotten that aspect and we've gotten that part out. So we're just going to make sure everything is properly aligned. Now to make sure we get those our curved edges just like we have here, we have to now use the circle. So we come over to our circle and we create a box that's going to snap to it, and then we come over here. What do we have? This part. Now that means there will be a small circle down here. That means you can take this to this part. Okay, and we're going to make a duplicate, right? Now we're just going to repeat the same process for this down part. So you're just going to take it and repeat the same process here and make a duplicate. Now all you need to do now is, if you are using CorelDRAW, all you just need to come over to your interactive field tool and choose your smart fill. If you're using Adobe Illustrator, this is where your shape builder tool comes in. Whichever software you're using, it works well. So all you just need to do is select this select this and select this and this, right? Let me see. Okay, this part's supposed to be rounded. Okay, so I think we are going to make a little bit of mistake here. Oh, I'm coming. This is kind of really confusing. So we have round, yes, curved, yes, shootout. So yes, shootout. Yes, not rounded. So that is not properly rounded. That means there is a space. Now, when your logo design does this, know that probably there's somewhere that's leaking. It's a sort of a leakage down there. So what we need to do is, let's see again. Yeah, it's supposed to just be rounded. Okay, so that means since I color this outer part and didn't cover properly, to get things right, what you need to do is make sure you highlight everything, turn this stuff to hairline. This will enable you to properly see if everywhere is joined. Now if you zoom in, you can see that it's not joined. That means there's a problem there. It's not joined. So what you need to do is you make sure it is properly joined. Now this is one of the reasons why I like using just the hairline, because if there's a fill, if the outline has a color, or if it has a fill, sometimes it can be really obstructing. It can just be very deceiving. So by the way, let's make sure it's highline. Anyway, let's just go for that. It snaps, and then when you turn it to hairline, you check. Okay, you can see it is it intersected properly. And if you check this part too, it intersected properly. And if you check here, it properly intersected. Now we are in order. So all we just need to do now is to copy this, okay, and just come over here and paste. Make a duplicate, select the both of them, okay, drag while holding your shift key, and then you paste, and there we go. Now if you go over here and use our smart fill tool, or if you're using Illustrator, use your shape builder tool, you see nothing happened anymore. So let's check our stuff. Okay, now we are in order. We do the same. In this case, this side is rounded, here is covered. Now you see that there's a leakage in this part, so we need to correct this area. That means something is going on here that we are unaware of. You see, here is not properly covered, so that means here exceeded the jointed point. So all we need to do now is to take this up and make sure it comes down back and snaps. Now it is well covered. Now we can go over. These are very necessary things you need to check while you're working on a logo. So let's see it again. Rounded, round. Okay, yes, rounded. Yes, rounded completely. Yes, covered. And there we go. Now you have your stuff. To me, I feel this is too long. It's too long. So all we're going to simply do is just, what we are simply going to do is we're going to delete this and possibly delete this, and we are going to take this a little bit closer. I feel it's too long, so let's put it this way. Now we don't have a sketch to go on. We don't have maybe a hand drafted sketch. This is just us doing something creative in our goal as we are going further. So we're just going to select the both of them. We are going to make sure we don't repeat the same mistake to save us time. Now you have to go in ourselves and make sure we don't repeat the same mistake. Yes, so now we have this. Let's see. Go back to our smart fill tool. Yeah, it's rounded, if I'm correct. Okay, nope. Yeah, it's rounded. So yeah, it's rounded. Yes, I think we've gotten it now. So as I always say, make a duplicate. So we're going to make a duplicate, put it aside, and we're now going to select everything we've done like this. Okay, we are going to bring them out, and we are going to just delete this, and we are going to bring this in. Okay, we're going to bring this in, and I think we're just going to delete this circle. So we are going to cut this away, which is Control X, and we're going to delete this circle. I'm going to paste it back. Then we do the same here, Control X, we delete this circle and we paste it back. Then we Control X, delete this circle, and then we paste this one back. Yeah, this is a long process. If you're using Illustrator, this would have been maybe probably way quicker, but still. Then we can select everything and then weld, and there we have it. Now come over to your shape tool, make sure that all nodes are selected to reduce unnecessary nodes, and there we have it. Okay, so now we've gotten this figured out. Now it's time to choose the kind of fonts we are going to go with. Now I was thinking of using a very sound font, something let's say Swipe Chart, right? Swipe Chart. We're going to go with something like Swipe Chart. So I was thinking of going with a more modern sans serif font. So I was thinking a font called Lexend. So I was thinking of something, a font called Lexend. Yes. So let's see with the bold. Yeah, I think this font works well. So we're just going to reduce the spacing. Yeah, so increase it a little, make sure it's properly aligned. And then yes, we have our logo. Because of the nature of this font, this spacing here is kind of creeping me out. It's making me look like here is too deep and wide and too spacious. Let me see. Anyway, we won't be working with kerning today. Okay, that will be maybe on that tutorial video when I'm teaching you guys the kerning process and all that. So right here we have our logo mark and the best used logo type. So let's create a background for the colors. So we are just going to go with, as usual, 1000 by 1000 pixels. So we are going to make sure we power clip everything inside, remove this outline, go in and create another one, which we use for the coloring, and then we remove the outline. And there we have it. So we have this. So we're going to copy, or you're going to paste. So we make this white and make the background black. Always check if your logo works well in black and white. And the last step is to choose the best use colors, that is the creative colors for this particular logo. So now I have an image right here, which I feel depicts everything called creativity. It has orange, it has purple, it has, in fact, everything about this particular image just reeks creativity. So I'm just going to drag here to choose a color palette. So I'm just going to drag this in here for all the colors to pop out, and there we have it. So all I need to do now is maybe select this, copy, come over here, maybe create a new page and paste, then go in and then select this and maybe choose this color, then select the fonts and maybe nope, nada, and maybe choose this. Well, you could use the same fonts all through if you want. You could use the same color, but I just felt maybe if we could just maybe mix it up a bit, or if you can make this and then make this. No, so it's your choice anyway. It's your choice. Okay, or we could just go with the general color all around. Just go with one color for everything. It's still your choice. It's your choice to go with. And if we say let's go with orange wouldn't rhyme properly with purple. You know, it doesn't really go well. So I was thinking maybe pink. Something like this. Okay, now we could survive with this, or for the sake of this tutorial, let's just stick with this. Now going back to the brief, to our breakdown, we have something they said mobile app icon. So let's quickly create a mobile app icon look for them. So we're just going to copy and we're going to paste. We come in and we create a small box. Okay, put it to the middle, then copy the icon, paste it and put it also at the middle. Then we reduce it. Okay, then we come over to the icon and we round the edges. Come back to the rectangle, sorry, to the square, and we round the edges to an icon looking mode. You know, for those of us who download apps online, you should get this understandable. So maybe we're just going to color the icon this, and we're going to give this white. So now this is an app icon that we've now been able to create for the brand that they can use for maybe their mobile app icon and stuff like that. So in my subsequent tutorial, or in my next video, I'll go further into maybe designing a morphism UI design for the chat app, or maybe like how the chat app should look like. And if you've not subscribed to our video, please do that. Sorry, if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that so that you will get to see the video when next I drop it. And please turn on the notification, very important, so that you'll be the first to know when that video is uploaded. Okay, so now we've been able to deal with it. We're going to be designing a landing page design right here in CorelDRAW, and we'll be designing a UI look design for it also right here in CorelDRAW. So thank you guys for sticking with me in today's tutorial video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button so that you can like it and more people can get to see this tutorial video and learn from it. And make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't, and also please try to share this video with other creatives so that they can learn as you have learned here today. I'll be seeing you in my next tutorial session or in my next tutorial video. Stay creative and stay healthy. Make sure to click on any video showing up on your screen if you want to improve your skills in graphic design or logo design. Namaste.